All right, so here's what I want to talk about today. So my name's Dave Lockwood with removeitprosdemolition, and we're a demolition company, and we repurpose stuff. We do everything from junk removal all the way to building demolitions, which would include junk removal, concrete cutting, selective demolition, hands-on demolition, building demolition, and flooring removal. So we basically rolled all those businesses into one, and we provide a service for contractors that allows them to get a lot more done with one contractor and get it done quickly. We bring a box truck and a dump trailer. We bring all the tools we need. We don't pull off during the day. We do a lot in a little bit of time. So this vlog is basically us taking this business and we're expanding it into the whole state of Florida. The first expansion is going to be to take this to Sarasota, which is about 100 miles north of us, and we are going to put in our second location there. So there's a lot that goes on into this. Everything from putting your website together. We're at a 97% word of mouth business here in our current marketplace, and I want to go into the next marketplace and dominate it in our little niche. Each one of the demolition companies has a little specialty that they like to do. Some of them like to do land clearing. Some of them like to do site work and stuff like that, and we're not interested in any of that. What we're looking to do is to come in, get you started on your project, and move on to the next one. And we do a lot of it. We do about 2,000 of these a year. What we want to do here is we're adding impact. We're saying, hey, you know what? We found something really cool, really neat. We figured out a way of doing it that's really cool and really neat, and we'd like to share it with you. So that's where we're at with this whole thing that we're presenting to you. So right now I have a junk removal book that's almost done. I have a demolition book that I thought was almost done, with it really isn't. I ended up firing the guys that doing this yesterday. They I could go on for several hours. Just basically people, what happens when you're signing on with people online with marketing stuff, dude, you got to get a recommendation from somebody that's had a good success story with them, because what happens is they just don't follow through. And what they're doing is they're collecting your money and his money and her money and so on and so forth, and they're taking on more work than they can possibly do. So this is my experience, the work that they do is substandard. It's not even close. So I started out with this program with these guys, and the first thought that went through my head is, are you kidding me? You can get this done for this little bit amount of money? And it wasn't much. So what I thought is I hired 2 different companies to do 2 different books. I'm actually going to write about 4 or 5 books. I already have ideas on each one of them. And they're things where we've come up with all this information that we figured out that works. And we want to pass it along. Now I want to make a little money doing it. But so I hired this company. And I'm just going to go into this for maybe 5 minutes, but I basically hired them. I already did the whole outline. I did it in video form. I took the video, made it into a transcript, sent it to them, sent the book that I had half written, and I said, look, I want you to put the rest of this text on paper and then send it back and forth to me, and then we'll tweak it out. So they get started doing this, and we're a couple months into it, and I'm like, they're just not following through. So I'm talking to this guy, his name's and some of the things that man said to me was, I just couldn't believe it. I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? He's talking to me, just not giving me any respect for the credibility of the things that I have accomplished in my life. He's basically treating me like a 3-year-old. So I finally got sick and tired of that. And what he ended up doing is I was at my wit's end with him, and he says to me, he's asking me questions like, did you get up this morning? I'm like, they never asked me that question, but it was freaking ridiculous questions. You're like, am I being punked? I'm sitting there thinking, am I being punked? Am I on a radio station? Are they punking me? Is it that what's going on? So finally I had enough of it. So he says to me one day, he says, hey, could I get your YouTube username or whatever? And I said, sure. And I gave it to him. And I said, what do you need that for? Well, I'm going to show my team your content so we can do a better job at doing your book and this and that and the other thing. And I'm like, dude, you just got caught in a bold-faced lie. And he says, what do you mean? I said, you told me you did that last when I first started this with you. You said you had these guys watched 6 hours of it and this and that. You went on and on and on. So what you're telling me is you freaking lied to me about this whole thing. So meanwhile, we're several months into this and you've gotten nowhere. So basically what I did is I sent them the book that it was completed and was going through editing. I sent the whole book to them and I said, make this 1 or 2 chapters in this bigger book about demolition. So in other words, condense this, put it with the book. It's not the primary focus. So here we are. We're going back and forth on all this stuff. And we started this in June, the last part of June, and we get all the way here to the November. And in the middle of this, I went to this guy's boss and said, look, you know what? The guy lied to me to the point where I don't want to deal with him anymore. I said, now you can salvage this relationship. What do you want to do? So, well, I'm the boss. I'll take it over. Okay. So meanwhile, all that I've had going on with him is one sales pitch after another. So I've agreed to go ahead and do this program with him where he's going to push out and do my marketing for for the course that I'm putting together, which is basically we're trying out some different names, but Junk Removal University was the first one. We don't really like that. We think we're going to call it Junk Removal Mastery is what we were thinking. So anyway, I'm talking to him. I get into a conversation with this guy's name, and the company name is. And back to the same old thing, how often do you go and get something done and you think you're getting it done for cheaper than it ends up being cheaper for you? Have you experienced that a lot? It's a rare thing when you get to save money like that, unless you're doing the work yourself. So it's not a lot of money. He wants a little bit more money to do a couple things. I agree to it. I trust him as much as I trust anybody, which is not a lot. And so yesterday he makes an agreement at the beginning of this month that he's going to finish this book up that I gave him. I basically gave him the whole book. I gave him the whole transcript. I gave him 50% of the book was written out. All I wanted to do is take the rest of the transcript, put it on text, send it to me, and we'd work it out back and forth, edit it, and try to make sure they'll take the flavor out of it, because that's what this other company did. They took all the flavor out of it. They used Grammarly to take all the flavor. All the personality and all the interesting stuff was taken out of it, and I have to keep putting it back in. So no, you can't, when you're dealing with these guys online, I'm just telling you, my experience has not been good. Okay? So they basically, we just burned a lot of time. Let's just put it that way. So I told this, I said, just give me my money back. You have a money back guarantee. You told me early on, I told you I didn't trust marketing guys. I didn't trust you guys in the sense that I gave him the history of the different things that I've dealt with and just trying to be upfront with him and just trying to get a better result. Okay, so the bottom line is I just wasted my time. That's it. He wasted his time, he wasted my time, but I'm not willing to burn up all this money. The problem that they have is the FTC is cracking down on this kind of stuff, and I have a direct connection with them, and I can get their company investigated. So I can't cause anything to happen, but I can get them investigated based off the information that I have and that I would provide, and I had the emails and stuff. So anyway, I went back into it today, and I read through what I wrote so far, and I'm like, you know what, this is pretty good. I think I'm just going to go ahead and just write the whole thing, and I'll do and at this point, I took the other book and I showed it to someone that I was thinking about hiring to help me write my third book. The thing about anything is this: if you do it every day, you get good at it. You can get good at it. Most people get good at it. But if you don't do something but 2 or 3 times or 4 times in your life, how good do you get at it? So I'm looking at experts to help me. Now, I have the information. I understand it. I know that it works because we've done it and we built this business off of it. So I'm terribly excited growing up as a poor kid and I wanted to show people this stuff and being impactful and change people's lives and stuff like that, which is really cool to me. So here we are. I'm talking. He tells me what he's going to do. He sends me another chapter, and I'm like, "Are you kidding me? We're not. You send me one chapter, and you guaranteed me you'd have this book done by the end of November. Well, it's November 20th. Actually, it's November 21st. And I'm like, look, let's stop this right here. Just give me my money back, and we'll be good. And I'm going to move on, and I'm going to get this done somewhere else. You haven't done anything to deserve the money. I want the money back. So you can give it back to me, or I'm going to get it back, one or the other." Fortunately for them, they're actually in LA. They're not in some other marketplace like in India or something where I don't know what I would have. So anyway, that's what I'm doing. I'm working on getting my money back on that, and I learned a lesson. So a lot of stuff that I've been doing, I've learned how. For example, I went ahead and learned how to do a WordPress site for myself so I can supervise somebody doing it. Now I have somebody working for me full time that's doing the website and they're doing my SEO. I did a whole bunch of SEO to learn it. This person they got more skills at it than I do. They're actually doing a very good job. We have a ranking for a lot of words or a lot of keywords, dominant keywords for our industry in this new marketplace. Now it's a couple days before Thanksgiving. The market kind of slows down for this industry anyway during the Christmas time. So I think we're going to have a huge impact from this. I really do. I'm very excited about it. So a lot of stuff that I'm working on is working. A lot of stuff I'm not working on that I've been trying to outsource has just done nothing but create a bunch of aggravation for me. So that's pretty much it. That's it for the vlog for today. And wish me luck. I don't know if I'm going to get that money back or not. And I'm just going to take this back over because at this point, I'm just every fifth thought is, okay, let's do this. And I'm stopped because I've got them involved. And it's just not working out. So I talked to him yesterday about 2 days ago, talked to Dennis, who's going to do this thing. I talked to him about should I put together a landing page and go ahead and start collecting emails. And if you're listening to Russell Brunson or you're listening to Alex Hormozy or you're listening to Gary Vee or any of the other guys that are doing this kind of stuff that we're doing that have niche information, they all say the same stuff. And he was clueless on it. And I'm like, look, let's go ahead and do this and start collecting email addresses so that we have a market to. And he says to me, he's giving me pushback, and I'm like, look, I have my own marketing going on all the time. I want to send people to a landing page. Now, is this landing page, is it part of your LMS program? And he's like, hey, and I'm like, are you kidding me? Am I being punked again? I'm like, I'm asking this guy, and this is, to me, is just basic information inside their industry. Now, talking to understands this. So well, you need to create another website. I said, are you freaking kidding me? Well, by the end of the call, well, I don't have to start another website. It's part of their LMS program. And I'm like, dude, I am so over this. I don't have time to be raising other people's children. So, but anyway, that's it. Remove It Pros Demolition, taking you on the journey, expressing some of the frustrations I've dealt with. Maybe you'll learn something from what I just told you and you won't do what I just did and burn a bunch of time and potentially burn, about $15,000. So that's it. I'll see you on the next video.